Yes, welcome back here in the back of the room live in Brussels in the Wild Gallery. If you're just joining us later, my name is Gerrit Heijkoop, and for the next 15, 20, 25 minutes, as long as we need to take, we're going to make sure that the promise that Peter Heidenbroek just made on stage is really going to get started right here, right? This broadcast could be the start of your next pivotal moment in your professional career. To help me and you with that, I'm joined by Elena Ferrario, and you know all about these peer reviews. They were briefly touched on by Magna previously. It's part of the services in the policy learning platform, which all have to do with the expert reviews. Now, let's clear out what these are, because when I read the term peer review with some link to the academic world, I was thinking about reviewing papers and all that stuff, but it's actually very physical happening, right?
Yes,
How do you explain it?
So, it's true. The peer reviews are one of the services of the policy learning platforms, and I must say this is one of the most powerful and effective tools that we offer to reach out for the excellence of Interreg Europe knowledge. Let me put it this way.
Yes. Because let's start all the way from the call.
Exactly.
And Peter just launches a call with a deadline. I wrote it down. You have until June 28th.
Exactly.
What do I do?
This is a two-step approach. You have a call, and it is a very, very easy procedure to do online. A potential region that wants to host a peer review has simply to fill in a very quick and easy-to-use application, let's call it.
Yeah.
And then our experts of the policy learning platform will, look at it, assess it, and the program will make a selection of the regions that can host a peer review.
One step before that, Elena, how do I know as a region, as a public authority, as a managing part, how do I know that I should use this tool? How do I identify myself?
This is very simple. Do you work for a regional or local authority? Do you deal every day with the management and implementation of a regional development policy, operational program or not? Do you face some challenges in your daily work? This is the place to be.
The key
just
is
a peer review.
I must have a challenge. There is something that I want to get fixed.
Exactly.
Related to the 4 thematic topics. So
yes.
Either I want to stimulate research and innovation, I want to increase the competitiveness of my small and medium enterprises, I want to stimulate the low carbon economy, or I want to be more efficient with my resources and environment.
Exactly.
Right? That is any challenge in that area.
You are looking for solutions. You're looking for inspirations from other...
Starting point.
Exactly.
Simple online application. Then what?
The good thing is that even if you're not selected for a peer review, your application will still be reviewed and will still be treated upon by our experts. So with some other types of services. So everybody that applies will anyway have a sort of a feedback. In any case, when the peer review is set, like is decided, then the experts will work on the selection of the peers. In fact, who are the peers? The peers are other colleagues from other regional and local authorities across Europe that have a sort of a knowledge, a competence on the specific field that the region is interested in working on. Yep. And of course, this comes from, all this knowledge and information comes from the Interreg Europe community. Okay, so yep. Our 16,000 people that are within Interreg Europe, and so the moment the peers are selected, then we organize the peer review. So yep. This is a 2-day meeting for an in-depth analysis and exchange
it's a structured
on the
approach
issue.
To tackling the problem.
Yes, exactly.
Problem and coming up with
so there is the
solutions.
knowledge of the experts, our high-quality experts, and then there is the knowledge of other peers that work on the ground in other countries, of course, but share similar issues, similar challenges, and so they have the knowledge on the ground. And this 2-level approach is very interesting and very enriching, in fact, for the region that hosts peer review.
So there's a 2-day meeting. Is it defined how many people are in the meeting? Is it a big meeting, small meeting?
Well, it's a small meeting because it has to be very, very operational. So it's not a big event. It's a small meeting where people really work a lot together. Yeah. Yeah. One thing I would like to mention is that the host region is also very welcome to call to this meeting all the stakeholders at the regional level. If we are talking about a policy, innovation policy, for instance, then of course in the room there has to be also the regional development agency. Yeah. I don't know, some SMEs, research institutions, so the stakeholders that cooperate in the regional innovation ecosystem.
So in that way, the peer review event is not only a policy improvement tool, but it immediately also impacts your relations with the stakeholders.
Absolutely, yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. And when you say host region, is that the question asker, or who is the host region? Well,
the host region is the regional authority or local authority that applies for the peer review and then hosts the meeting. But in fact, as Peter said, this is a turnkey solution, meaning that almost everything is prepared and organized by our policy learning platform experts. So they organize all the preparation phase, they run the peer review, and then also they deal with the post-production, let's say, beautiful. Of the meeting.
And what are some of the end results I may expect if I'm in a host region, I get through? What is some of the post-production deliverables?
So I think the very first one is in fact a sort of a package of recommendations and advices from the experts and from the peers on how to best implement or find new solutions for the regional policy challenge. All right. So it's a very technical and detailed and concrete set of recommendations that they can apply from day one. In fact, after the peer review, then of course they get the host region gets this. A fantastic opportunity to exchange with other peers and to exchange with the regions. This is the core of Interreg Europe interregional cooperation, which is per se extremely exciting.
So it strengthens the network, new connections on top of this very specific recommendations.
Exactly.
Beautiful. Now, if you're still with us and you have questions about these peer reviews, make sure you use the opportunity to use the Slido box on the right side of your screen. And is there anything important you want to add right now, or shall we see if we can take some questions?
We can take the questions.
Yeah. Petra, do we have any questions for Elena or regarding the peer reviews? Yes.
Yes, we have. As Katrina mentioned, there were a number of questions actually related to services of policy learning platform, and one of them directly to peer reviews. So, Elena, they are asking, what is the difference between matchmaking and a peer review?
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Petra.
Because the matchmaking is also some kind of service related to the experts, right?
Yes, totally.
How would you explain the difference?
Matchmaking sessions are like internally we call them mini peer reviews. Okay. In fact,
so
this is a moment
that people recognize the similarity.
Yes, there are similarities. In fact, indeed, these are moments that are organized in bigger events, like today. For instance, this afternoon we will have 4 matchmaking sessions where the policy learning platform experts will run a sort of a 90 minutes exchange among peers. So there is a region or a local authority, regional authority that asked
with a question
for
or a challenge?
Sort of exactly, like proposed a challenge, and other participants were asked to somehow respond or exchange on this. So it's a mini meeting.
It's literally a mini peer review in the sense that the process is similar. You get to exchange with peers, only this is 90 minutes, while a peer review is a two-day event with a lot more outcome.
Absolutely,
beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope that answers your questions, and if not, respond again. Petra, what else do we see?
Maybe a very quick question. Some people are asking, where can they find good practices? Because we heard about plenty of stories, transfer of various good practices. Where can they find them?
Sure. Well, good practices are all on the Interreg Europe website. So this is a fantastic tool, very clear. You click on interregeurope.eu and you very easily find your way to all the stock of good practices of Interreg Europe. Some of them are have a sort of a label validated by the experts, let's say, by the policy learning platform experts.
I guess our question asker must have joined later when we were talking with Magda about this. This beauty is you find all these interventions, basically, from all the regions, but some of them have actually been reviewed and been guided by the expert, like this works because of this.
Yes.
And in general, I found as an outsider, the good practices are very well structured. There's a description, there's benefits, key success factors, even resources. What does it cost to implement this process? And also challenges that you will probably face. So.
I think one of the main elements that are important to mention is the evidence of success. So why are they considered good practice? It's written there, so it's good.
And you don't need to pay, you don't need an account. They're all available on the Interreg website, right? And you can find different ways to sort through them by project, by region, by country. Yeah, check it out. More questions, Petra?
Yes. it's one of the most recent, one of the latest. It's related to peer review, and there's a question whether people have to pay for this service. I think this is quite practical and important to know.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
How about the resources involved in a peer review?
So in fact, this is a very important point. This is all for free.
No,
it's fantastic.
There's no such thing as a free lunch, so explain.
Well, in fact, the good thing about the services of the policy learning platform is that even though the program cannot fund any more projects, because all funds are taken.
It doesn't work like that anymore,
the policy learning platform still provide to all public authorities in Europe some services like the peer review that are
and there's
basically
funding for that.
Exactly, there are funds for that.
So it means that if I apply and I get selected, Interreg takes care of the rest also on the budget side.
Yes, you only have the host region only has to take care about the venue, basically,
venue. Okay,
and that's
so
it.
The venue is something you need to arrange. And what I then become curious about, and that allows Petra to select the next question, how do the experts determine whether I make it to the top of the list? What are the criteria that determine whether I just get, which is already very nice, a bundle of advice and context that I should follow up on, versus whether I make it to actually become a peer review?
Yeah, sure. I think generally I must say, well, the application, of course, has to be as clear as possible. So quality on the text and very detailed and concrete description of the policy issue as such, of course. Then, of course, we give priority to managing authority of operational programs, investment for growth and jobs. So, of course, these are our target groups.
That's your main target group.
Exactly.
So if you are a managing authority, your chances have just increased.
Absolutely. And yes, although it's also important to say that this is also, of course, a service that is open to anybody.
Yeah, just good to have that in the back of your head. So you could be locally, see if you could partner up with the managing authority, right, and submit your challenge together.
Yes, it's true. It's true. Yeah, I think these are the main.
The main two. So quality of the submission, and preferably if you could somehow link it to a managing authority, that helps.
Yeah.
Clear. It seems that Petra has more questions. Petra, throw them out. And you, great job. Keep using the opportunity that we're live.
Probably a last question. I would bundle two of them together. People are asking about news about policy learning platform services and what policy learning platform is doing. How can we get updates? And I think it goes together also about where to get more information about project activities and results. So maybe you can answer that those two questions in one.
How do we stay in touch? They found a way to the broadcast. Now what?
Now what? You are in the right place. It's always the same place. This is the main source of information is always the Interreg Europe website, where you find everything. There are pages dedicated to the policy learning platform services. So this is also a very clear description of what we offer. News are, of course, regularly, constantly updated. So everything is there.
Yeah. So there's an Interreg newsletter, right? Interreg Europe newsletter. There's an Interreg Europe YouTube channel where you find all the stories. You should check it out soon in the next few weeks, because this afternoon we're going into the policy change exhibition, capturing more stories of the actual impact that the partners in the Interreg Europe projects have had, and that could inspire you as well. And other than that, sign up, right? Sign up to the platform and you find your way.
Yep.
I mean, I would say if you find your way to this broadcast, you should be capable of finding the updates.
You're already there.
No more questions from Petra. Then I think with that, we kind of come to the end of this. Let me invite Mia back. And let me invite Petra and Julie also. Come in. Because the clock is far beyond 1. So first of all, you got a lot more money for your buck as expected, because we got you an extra 30 minutes of broadcast. Thank you very much for staying with us all the way to the end. As just mentioned in the last question, make sure you subscribe to the newsletter, YouTube channel, become a member of this vibrant community, and we hope to welcome you back either online in the next webinar, in the next event broadcast, or physically in a peer review in an event.
That's right.
Any final comments from you ladies. Oh, we're all mic'd up. We don't need that. How do you look back at this morning? Mia, we started here today, very excited, more than 500 people.
Exactly, and we're going to continue on that path. I mean, we have here a very exciting afternoon. The people will start visiting the Policy Change exhibition, hear more of the stories that we already covered a bit in the plenary sessions. And for anybody who's been following us live, good news, we'll have some of those stories to share with you later on as well, because we'll be making little videos and sort of collecting and harvesting some of these stories here throughout the afternoon. So stay tuned for the follow-up.
Beautiful. Julie, on social media, #EuropeCooperates.
I mean, we've had so much activity, Gerrit. I had such a hard time following, but I tried to, keep in touch with everyone. We had about 400 people follow us online today. So, yeah, from our perspective, great success.
Great work. Thanks a lot. And keep doing that throughout the next few days. Now, Petra, I noticed something interesting what's happening in Slido. People are using it as some kind of virtual matchmaking tool, right?
Exactly. I think that they got used to the fact that these meetings are about networking, about changing ideas, about looking for inspiration. So please stay with us for a little bit longer. We'll be replying to some of the questions that are still there that maybe are more specific, or keep networking for a little bit until we close it. And I think we'll close it maybe in about half an hour.
Yeah. Exactly.
But thank you for participating.
On that note, I just want to add, because yes, we've been very focused on sort of looking for partners, building partnerships and all that. We still want to continue doing that. So even though we don't have open calls, there are still all these possibilities to cooperate. We have all the policy learning platform services. We will do these events where we bring people together, where we share these stories. So opportunities are still there for sure.
Yes.
So I think we would like to see you back, whether it's online or physically. Thank you all for being with us. Thank you for the team behind the scenes. Great work. Thank you for the team in front of the scenes. And we look forward to welcoming you back online or offline at Interreg Europe. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.